On Friday, July 15, 2011, we ventured down into urban Victoria for an interview with LifeCycles in order to identify and assess eco-psychological themes used within their Growing Schools program.
My name is Danielle Stevenson, and I'm the Interim Executive Director with LifeCycles, though I am and have been the Education Outreach Coordinator for a few years as well.
What is LifeCycles?
LifeCycles has been around since 1994, actually, and so our mission is to cultivate awareness and initiate action around food, health, and sustainability in this region. And we do that through our many projects, Fruit Tree Project, to Growing Schools, to our youth programs, to our urban agriculture work. So some of our core values, I guess, are around community, building healthy and sustainable communities, and on action. So taking action, actually, not only the education and the awareness piece, but also like actually transforming spaces and building gardens and growing food together and eating together and all of these things. Another one of our core values, I would say, is just the value of youth in particular. We are largely a youth-driven organization, and that's kind of how we started too, actually. It was a youth project. A bunch of youth somehow got a grant to do this international food project, and so that those are sort of our roots, and we still kind of maintain that as well.
Growing Schools program.
So Growing Schools is another program that's been around for a pretty long time, about 15 years. And so Growing Schools helps local schools create organic food gardens on their school grounds. So we've done about 15 so far, and we're hoping to build 5 more this year. And then we offer workshops to bring students out to the garden, use the garden as a classroom to teach about where our food comes from and how to grow your own, but also so much more, of course, right? It's curriculum-based learning. We work in like large groups and small groups, and we're able to talk about, health, food access, hunger, sustainability, environmental issues, and so many other things just through gardening.
How Growing Schools connects to eco-psychology theories. Theory 1. Community psychology.
With a participatory model of education, and that means our learning is really hands-on and experiential, and it's also really based on the interests and skills and experiences of the participants. So we do try to always match it to learning objectives, though, of the ministry, and we do create our own curriculum. We have created a couple pretty neat manuals, and all of our activities come from there. So not only do we use those activities, which again are curriculum-based, but we also make them available so that other teachers in schools all over, anywhere, I guess, could make use of them.
Community psychology. Defined as the application of psychology to community programs for the promotion of community building and mental health. Community psychology is an ecological approach to relating humans to their local environments. Researchers Brogan and James write in the American Journal of Community Psychology that plants contribute substantially to psychosocial health. Gardens provide people an important opportunity to maintain their cultural heritage through growing plants that are important in their local community food culture. A wide range of psychosocial studies have found that exposure to green plants can relieve stress. Plants and green spaces provide the human mind with a rest, allowing the expression of creativity and an increase in productivity. Playing and learning in green spaces is important in child development. A garden can teach children an ecological relationship to food and how local food contributes to community development, local participant action, and empowerment. Theory number 2. Framing for a positive affect and effect.
I think it was developed by people that were really concerned about the food system and the impacts of that in terms of environment, social justice, and all these other things. And so that might have been the driver to create the program and the curriculum, but the main, I guess, hope or goal of the curriculum is to inspire, positive change in terms of health and working together and connecting to our earth and to each other.
Framing theory and the concept of framing bias suggest that how something is presented, the frame, influences the choices people make. The Growing Schools program wants to influence children, teachers, and the community to choose local food and have a positive relationship with the natural environment. The curriculum is framed in a fun, positive way expressed through games, stories, and activities. The entire organization expresses the belief that positive individual action leads to a greater awareness and community development and ensures that the frame of their programs and curriculum is consistent around these core values. Theory number 3, cognitive dissonance.
Just giving space for youth and kids to just take action, to feel that what they do might matter, and to work together to do that, to create something that has a tangible, that is tangible. So create a garden together and then grow our own tomatoes and things and eat those and share them together. I think that's really important, to provide space for young people to do that, to take action in their communities, not just to hear what's wrong and what needs to be done, but to know that they can do something about it.
The Growing Schools program is working to reduce the dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is defined as a condition of conflict or anxiety resulting from inconsistency between one's beliefs and one's actions, such as eating unorganic imported food, yet personally concerned with our changing climate. The theory is that dissonance, being unpleasant, motivates a person to change his cognition, attitude, or behavior. The Growing Schools programs offer a practical, action-oriented solution to help communities remove the dissonance they feel in relation to human impacts on the natural environment. Teaching communities the importance of eating local and then providing an opportunity for personal action can relieve some of the psychosocial discomfort of cognitive dissonance. Theory number 4, connecting through food, a solution to nature deficit disorder.
We focus on food so much with our work and with our curriculum. It's because food can be such a great connector. So, food, I think I've said, connects us to our earth. Really basic underlying thing is that food, all of our food comes from the earth in some way. Pizza, you ask most people probably, but children, where does pizza come from? And it's a factory, or the pizza man, or, and that's true, but it's like, okay, well, what about before that? So I think on a basic level, it connects us to the earth, and we think that's important. And it connects us to each other and to our culture. Food is always shared. It's people eat together, and it also connects us to our own bodies and to our health. So I think that's why we do this work. We feel it's important, not only just to, in a broader sense, give young people a chance to take action in their communities, and then on another level, use food to do that, because it is such a good connector. I hear from the teacher or notice having a harder time flourishing in the classroom setting, really flourishing outside, in a garden setting where they're able to express themselves more, just differently.
Yeah.
So in a different way, and where different skills are valued.
Food as the connection. Nature deficit disorder, a term developed by author Richard Louv, as explained in his book The Last Child in the Woods, describes how our societal disconnect with nature is affecting today's children. We have entered a new era of suburban sprawl that restricts outdoor play and encourages a sedentary indoor lifestyle in front of a television and computer screen. Humans have roots as agrarian, nature-oriented beings, and we are not designed for the overstimulated environment we've created. Some children adapt. Those who don't develop the symptoms of nature deficit disorder, which include attention problems, obesity, anxiety, and depression. As well, many of the problems are associated with unhealthy eating. Dr. Alan Green reports that ADHD diagnoses have tripled over the past 20 years, and the incidence of depression and anxiety disorders has increased, as well due in part to mass consumption of junk food. The Growing Schools program is working to reverse the trend of nature deficit disorder using fresh, healthy, local food as a connector by encouraging children to spend time outdoors and reconnect with nature. Studies and teacher observations of school gardens have shown that young people are far more likely to eat fresh fruits and vegetables that they've grown themselves. To conclude,
the Growing Schools program provides many benefits to local schools, children, teachers, and the Greater Victoria community. One critique of the Growing Schools program as it relates to eco-psychology is the lack of direct connections to theories and ideas developed in this expanding field, as it relates very closely with the work done by LifeCycles. Although not expressed explicitly, the underlying core values of LifeCycles and the programs they have created encompass a variety of themes and theories found within the discipline of eco-psychology. LifeCycles has the opportunity to expand their Growing Schools program with direct eco-psychology frames related to the benefits of growing local food along with mental and community health as it relates to an overall healthy environment. But fundamentally, LifeCycles is successfully working to develop a healthy, positive ecological relationship and connects food, nature, and children.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out and I'll lay your ship bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark. The sky